Hi everyone. Today, our group will be presenting our case study on the Kim Kim River toxic waste pollution incident which occurred in Pasir Gudang, Johor. Before we begin, let me introduce our team members. Our group consists of Hyung Jun Yang, Kevin Tan Yi Zong, Anona A, Muhammad Lukman Hafiz bin Muhammad Razali.
A very good day. My name is Lukman Hafiz, and I represent the introduction and discussion parts. So, engineering plays a key role in society, not just in the technological and industrial development, but also in ensuring the public safety and the environmental protection, as mandated by the registration of the Engineers Act RIA 1867. However, rapid industrial growth without the ethical responsibility can lead to the disaster. One such example is the 2019 Kim Kim River toxic waste incident in the Pasir Gudang, which highlights the critical role of the engineers in preventing harm to the communities and the environment. The Kim Kim River pollution incident occurred when the chemical waste was illegally dumped, releasing the toxic fumes that affected the health of students and nearby residents. The incident forced the closure of the over 100 schools and required emergency response from the multiple agencies. Laboratory tests detect the benzene and the volatile organic compound, which are hazardous to humans. This case demonstrates failure in industrial waste management, regulatory oversight, and the ethical responsibility, showing the consequences when the engineers and the industry neglect their duty to the society and the environment.
In March 2019, Sungai Kim Kim in Pasir Gudang became the site of one of Malaysia's worst toxic population disasters. Hazardous waste containing benzene, methane, and acrylonitrile was illegally dumped into the river by P-Tech Resources using unlicensed vehicles. This was a deliberate bypass of proper disposal protocols, a cost-cutting decision with devastating consequences. The complex chemical mixture not only contaminated the river but likely also entered the atmosphere through industrial stacks, affecting victims as high as the fourth floor of nearby schools. Over 6,000 people were exposed and nearly 2,800 were hospitalized, most of them children. The incident exposed serious technical failures: no real-time gas monitoring, insufficient buffer zones between industry and housing, weak regulatory enforcement, and incomplete river cleanup. It remains a critical case study in why engineering ethics, infrastructure, and regulation must work together to prevent industrial disasters.
Hi everyone, my name is Kevin, and now I will cover the part 4, which is the technical reason for failure. First, as you can see on the slide, there was a catastrophic disregard of the public health and safety. The disaster was triggered by the deliberate dumping of 2.43 tons of marinade oil and sludge directly into a public waterway. Second, this disaster was driven by prioritizing economic gain over lawful engineering practice. Handling industrial schedule waste is highly regulated and expensive. The tire pyrolysis facility deliberately circumvented the Department of Environment protocol simply to aggressively cut operational costs. Third, we must address the silent complicity and failure to blow the whistle. Tons of toxic sludge do not just vanish unnoticed in a progressing plant. The massive accumulation and subsequent disappearance of this waste without proper DOE tracking manifests when entirely unreported by the plant internal technical staff. Finally, our fourth point highlights the falsification of environmental data and loss of transparency. To actively hide the diversion of this toxic chemical to unauthorized dump sites, the factory waste manifest and operation report had to be deliberately falsified or internationally left incomplete. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is John. So today I will be present the recommendation to prevent incident like Kim Kim River pollution from happening again. First, environmental monitoring system in industrial areas should be improved. Regular monitoring of rivers and nearby environment can help detect pollution earlier. Early detection allows authorities to take action quickly before the situation becomes serious. Second, strictly enforcement of hazardous waste disposal regulation is necessary. Industry must follow proper procedures when handling and disposing of chemical waste. Company that breaks environmental law should face strict penalties to prevent illegal dumping. Next, regular inspection of factories and industrial facilities should be conducted. This inspection can ensure that companies are following environmental and safety regulation properly. In addition, engineers and workers should receive training on environmental protection and professional ethics. This helps them understand their responsibility to protect public safety and the environment. Lastly, the industry should adopt sustainability waste management practice and prioritize the environmental responsibility in their operation. To conclude, the Kim Kim River pollution incident showed how improper toxic waste disposal can cause serious harm to the environment and public health. This case highlights the importance of stronger waste management, strict loss enforcement, and better environment monitoring. With cooperation from the government, industry, and the public, similar incidents can be prevented in the future and the environment can be better protected.